Hey guys, this is OracleDaphne back from my regular OracleDaphne channel. I am doing the Gemini long format reading. This is messages for anyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in Gemini, or any strong planets in Gemini, or anyone who really just wants to check to see what I have to say, messages that want to come through in this moment. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you find it, this is going to be most likely applicable for you. Although I'm a huge fan of looking for things that I'm attracted to, and also scrolling and stopping on different random things. And usually that's how I know it's meant for me. So, before I begin, I do want to say a big thank you to everybody who supported my channel and all of the work and content I've produced. Please be patient. I still am working slowly on doing the long format for the sun sign recordings. These are not this would be kind of similar to my monthly readings if I was bringing those back in the long format, but I'm not going to be able to do the long format readings. I just can't record that much on my cell phone. And until I get a camera and equipment and all that stuff, I just can't do it. So, yeah, so I'm recording the reading for Gemini. I'm excited to be back. I've got some charms here. I've got the tarot here. I do want to say that you're more than welcome to book a reading. Still, my readings are still open. It's $100 for 30 minutes by phone. All the information is going to be in the description box. If you want to donate and support my work, I appreciate it so much, because I have been cranking out a lot of content lately. I'm like, it's a lot of work, and I just appreciate all the support and love from everybody. So that said, I think, whoever's watching this, with their strong Gemini energy, I think that there's a lot going on for Gemini in this reading. Before I laid out the cards, when I looked at the charms, I was like, there's just so much going on. And typically Gemini will have, they are the salad bar. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They have typically some very well-rounded lives. Very, very interesting, detailed, very thorough lives. So I'm not surprised, actually, that I'm seeing that, but it's just interesting the amount of messages coming through today. So I'm picking up a lot of busy energy for Gemini. It's like 1 minute you're at home and the next minute you're blasting off in outer space. And for some, this is, just having a lot on your plate and a lot to do. I don't know necessarily if it involves a move. Several moving cards have come out, but not in the placements of like that being the outcome. So I feel like it's more travel. Like some of you are like, you're coming in the door and then you're out the door 5 minutes later. That's kind of how it feels. Now, does that mean that's going to be the case for everyone? No, but I definitely feel like there's an energy of coming and going. And there's also like almost like a swirling kind of energy around you moving, you traveling. Maybe you have anxiety about traveling, or anxiety about going, getting to and from places. For some, this is anxiety about potentially a move. But I don't necessarily think that it's grounded. Like your fears are ungrounded is what I want to say. Gemini can have a lot of, like, when they become paranoid or fearful about something, they can have a lot of thoughts around things that really are not grounded in reality. Maybe they think, like, for example, they might think somebody is cheating, but they're not cheating at all. They might think, oh my God, I'm not going to get on the plane or whatever, but then actually like everything is going according to plan, like without a hitch. For some, if you were to be planning a wedding, for example, the Gemini is going to be the person that would, really stress about all the details. And even if things did go wrong, it's not like the end of the world, whatever those things are. So they're kind of like, there's an energy about making mountains out of molehills, but then at the reverse of that, the opposite of that is everything actually being fine. And Gemini kind of just needing to kind of cross the bridges as they come, instead of going into that fear space of being like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to make it, or I don't know if I'm going to get there, all of that anxiety stuff. We have, again, it's like a swirling kind of energy with the moon card coming in, circular patterns. Some of you may have like circular patterns in your life in some regard. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean like, there's a lot of back and forth energy, but with the tomahawk here, this is kind of he said, she said energy. And for some of you, you do need to bury the hatchet. You do need to like maybe think about things in a more peaceful kind of way. Come to some agreements. I think the thing that Gemini gets really lost in is sometimes they get lost in the details of things. They get lost in the details, maybe, or the energy of overly rational, logical thinking, rationalizations, or thinking about things a certain way, and it's not really helping them to come to a resolution or agreement with anybody, or with the person that they're arguing with, or the person that they're fighting with. It's not necessarily a need to be right per se, but the Gemini usually thinks that they are right, and they might actually be right, but they miss all of the other fine points about the whole argument. They miss the context. They miss not just the theory of something, but why somebody might be just plain old pissed off, or why somebody might just not want to do what the Gemini wants to do, or what the Gemini thinks is best, or why someone might want to do something differently. It's just sort of like the Gemini gets really into like their head about things, and sometimes they're right, and sometimes whatever they're thinking is wrong, or it just doesn't really apply. It can't be thought out. Not everything is like technical or technological. It's like talking to a robot, like, or like calling, I don't know if you've ever called your cell phone service provider, and gotten a robot. But let me tell you, it's no fun. You go through the prompts, and there is no prompt for go fuck yourself. There is no prompt for, I need to please speak to a supervisor or a human being. Prompt for the human being. Click. There is no button for that. Okay. So like you might have these issues within your relationship dynamics. There might be some things, like the learning curve for the Gemini, those of you who are watching, is really to think in terms of, what is this other person really saying? Where can we sort of work to meet in the middle? And for some of the Gemini, for some of the situations with the Gemini, you just need to do whatever it is that needs to get done. Or like, let's, for example, instead of thinking about it, you just need to do it. It's sort of like suck it up and do it. Put your money where your mouth is kind of energy. Now, does that mean like, again, you're wrong? No, because it's not necessarily like, I don't think everything's about being wrong or right, but I do see this element of conflict. And I also see this element of hurt here. We have this, I almost think of this as like a Three of Swords energy, because we have the sword with the heart, which usually reminds me of the Three of Swords energy. And with the heart here, it's heartbreak. It's something that's gone wrong. It's the end of a relationship. Those of you who are in relationships, I definitely see like there being an element of conflict within those partnerships, within those relationships. I don't feel like it's easy energy at all. For some of you, there is children involved too. Like for some of you, it's, you're married to someone, and this might not be a long-term partner, but this is a partner you have children with. So there's complicating factors here I'm seeing. I feel like from the Gemini perspective, whoever there might be child support issues too. And I do typically see child support issues with single parents. Those of you who have single parents, or those of you who are single parents, I just wanted to say. And I just see fights about things. I just see fights about the kids, fights about, I don't know, like basic practical elements, things that could be done differently things that are not getting done, basically, or not getting done right, or not getting done the way the Gemini wants to get done. That's what I'm seeing. And money that's not coming in for the kids or not being spent in a certain way. That's how I'm seeing it also. But it could be a different story entirely. Okay, so let's just say if you're a single person, you might be going through a period of grief where you lost somebody. I actually feel like some of you, like you lost a mother or a mother figure or somebody in your life and you're still grieving that person. It could have been an aunt. It doesn't even matter like if it's specifically your mother, but it feels like it's a female figure in your life that you're grieving. For those of you who are young and single, you might still like want to get married, have children, and some of this other stuff might not be applicable in that regard at all. I definitely see that there's things that are going to be coming into your life and then leaving your life very quickly. We have the shooting star, and that's relationships and people that enter your life super fast and leave your life super fast. I think of it as the quincunx, the indirect relationships, the things that come in out of nowhere and then leave just as fast. You want to check, so your 8th house, anybody with like 8th house placements, that comes into your life, that's your 8th house. Even if like you're not a Gemini, you're watching for a Gemini, you want to check your 8th house. Anybody who comes in whose sun, moon, or rising is in your 8th house. I feel like they're going to come into your life really, really fast and potentially leave your life very, very fast. There also might be, some unexpected hookups or unexpected relationships that happen really fast that kind of come out of nowhere. You meet somebody when you're out at the park. You could meet somebody where, I'm seeing like a record store, or you're like, maybe you've gone shopping somewhere and maybe you're talking to the salesperson. This could be any store, really, honestly. Maybe it's a salesperson, or maybe somebody you just like bump into. Maybe they're shopping too. I definitely feel like there's an element of you meeting somebody kind of unexpectedly. Okay. If you're single and that's something that you're wanting. We have the two cups here showing, and the 2 of Cups is about long-term relationships, friendships that lead to relationships. It's about becoming very close to somebody. It's also about being wined and dined. My guide said specifically wined and dined for this reading. So some of you who are excited, like to maybe date or get back out there, get back on the horse. Like I feel like you're going to get wined and dined by somebody. Okay. There's romance happening here, guys. And it doesn't always happen in my readings. Okay. So there's some romance here, but I feel like the romance is coming on the heels of things that happened quickly, things that kind of come out of nowhere, things that are short-lived, relationships that might not have lasted. It comes on the heels of maybe like taking a trip somewhere, or somebody passing away, or being very heartbroken. I feel like there's this, it's so interesting. I'm hearing the word sunshine baby. And a sunshine baby is a baby that comes on the heels of some loss or after a period of loss. And I think the technical definition might be like after you lose another child, but I don't see it like that. I feel like, and for some of you, you might have had a miscarriage and then you find out you're pregnant again. For some of you, my guides are confirming that for some of you. For some of you, I definitely see that if you were to get pregnant, it would be coming on the heels of some losses in your life. It would bring you a lot of joy and happiness and be like the sunshine in your life. I don't know. It has this a very warm feeling to me. We also have the Stay Groovy pen, which makes me think of California. Some of you may live in California too, but I just feel like this warm kind of energy that's coming from, let's just say, a pregnancy that comes after a lot of maybe traumatic things that have happened in your life, or that have come on the heels of, like I said, the death of a parent, the death of a female figure, the losses that you've experienced in some way. Some of you may be adopting also. I'm seeing adoption. I mean, some of you may have been adopted, but I definitely feel like there's an adoption that could happen. With this child here, this figurine, I don't necessarily see her as being a biological daughter or biological child. I see her as being an older child. I definitely think that for many of you, you're going to have a blended family. And again, this goes back to the Gemini having kind of an interesting, interwoven kind of family dynamics and life, where they, it's not a straight shot like the Sagittarius. Okay, it's not like we're going to get married and then we're going to stay together forever. I don't think I've ever met a Gemini who's been in a relationship that long. Things happen very quickly with Gemini and end very quickly with Gemini. They don't necessarily have the longest term jobs, and they don't have the necessarily longest term relationships. The lightness of the Gemini with the butterfly here, the lightness of the Gemini is the kind of supposed to encourage the Gemini to kind of flit and float from different things and enjoy the moment. Speaking of which, I do feel like there's some element of transition that some of you are going through. It's like a transitional period of your life, because we have the Queen of Cups here. And to me, this represents transition and trusting that everything's going to be all right. We have the Six of Swords also. Again, the Six of Swords is like freedom from worry. You guys might be just going through it right now. It feels like for some of you, you're going through it. Like there's just a lot of stuff going on for you. Whether that's in your personal life, whether that's in your career. I definitely feel like there's so much activity. It's hard to really pinpoint like everything that's going on. For some of you, you're burning the candle at both ends. Like you're just not getting enough sleep. You're trying to do it all. For some of you, like you're up all night with a baby. For some of you, you are just doing a lot during your day. Like there's just a lot you're trying to do. And maybe it's you're doing a lot for other people, or maybe you're just very busy as far as your activities. But it just feels like you're doing things in multiples like the Gemini typically does. And it's like you're an octopus and multitasking with like 8 arms. I kind of want to tell you to rest, at the same time, I don't necessarily feel like you're gonna. I feel like you're going to get right back out there. Like if you have a period of rest where you're just like chill and nothing happens, you're going to get right back out there and hit the ball, get back in the game. That's what I feel like you're going to do, honestly. With the Sun card here, that's also, that's just getting right back out there. I do feel like you're going to have, this is going to sound interesting, this interesting message. Some harmony in your life, some harmony. And what does that mean? It means that even if you've had conflict or things that have not gone right, I feel like you're going to reach some kind of harmonious energy. Like you might like turn a corner somehow. Maybe you get some sleep, or maybe things kind of, maybe some money comes through and it's like there's a reprieve, or maybe things improve somewhere in your career. You got a promotion. It's like a pocket of good energy. For some of you, you're going to go on a beautiful vacation, or you need to take a beautiful vacation. That's kind of what I see. I feel like some you're very stressed out and you need to take a vacation. There's just like too much conflict here in order for me to say, that it's all going to be smooth sailing. But I definitely feel like taking a vacation, getting some downtime, getting some actual rest, making sure you're drinking enough water, not hitting the bottle too hard, because with the cups energy, for some of you, this can be alcohol as well. With this, okay, the only thing that kind of like, it really intrigues me here is this key here. And this is the mystery key. I found this key in the parking lot at my old complex, and it's a mystery. It's absolutely a mystery. I will never know where that key goes to. There's no way for anybody to know where that key is going to go to. And so it's one of those mystery elements that shows up in readings. And I find it fascinating where it's showing up. There's some mystery around this shooting star energy, meaning this is gonna have this is how it could play out, meaning you could go into a pregnancy thinking you're absolutely going to have a girl and you end up having a boy, or you go into thinking you're absolutely going to have a boy and you end up having a girl. You could go into like work and think this is going to be the most beautiful day ever, and then your boss tells you they want to see you in your office for something, or so you get some crazy email from someone that says, whatever the contract you're working on is canceled. This could be just something that kind of comes out of the woodwork. The mystery coming out of the woodwork very, very quickly. I also feel like the energy of conflict is right next to energy of conflict. So you having words with somebody who maybe you're not expecting to have words with, a pop of like outburst or like unexpected argument with someone, maybe with even somebody in your family. This could also be some kind of argument or issue within your family, some kind of conflict or something within your family. I'm seeing that as well. Because it's next to the sea heart, this is a time I really would not encourage you to travel. I can't tell you not to travel. Like, I feel like some of you are going to go on a beautiful vacation, but then I feel like there's certain places like right now that are really blocked off. And I definitely would say, not going there. I also feel like there's things that you're going to need to avoid and use your head about. Like my dad would say, use your head, be smart. Like if you feel like, okay, you're going to leave the house and there's going to be conflict, go back in. Don't leave. Like stay home. Like for some of you, if you have a bad vibe about something, don't go. This sea heart though has beautiful energy. So the mystery element of the sea heart would be like an unexpected trip. Unexpectedly you have to leave, unexpectedly you have to go, unexpectedly you're going to move. This would be a move that came out of nowhere. This is a move that would shock you in some regard. This is also, okay, because we have the Hawaii here and it's linking up. This is also like all kinds of crazy shit can happen with weather. Okay, I remember specifically in one time there was a flight delay. Because there was a tropical storm in Hawaii and all of the flights were delayed. It was like, I had to wait. I had like 7 layovers or something. I don't know. It was some kind of crazy thing. And I ended up flying to all different places. So this is where you want to really watch the weather. Wherever you go, look, if you were to travel to Hawaii or someplace, I would pack an extra bag and I might actually like ship yourself, this is gonna sound funny, ship yourself some clothes to the hotel, like send it like by USPS mail, in a box. Okay. Like don't actually take everything with you because for whatever reason, you might have issues with luggage. You might have issues with delays. I feel like it's less the luggage and it's more about like issues with delays, flights being delayed. I'm seeing flights being delayed like crazy. But again, it's like an unexpected mystery element where I can't tell you exactly what is going to happen, but I can tell you that most likely it's sort of going to be like that where you're not expecting to have to get like, a flight to Chicago and then a flight to Seattle and then a flight to someplace else. You're not expecting that. So you're going to want to like pack extra clothes or wherever it is that you're traveling to and from. Ship yourself a box of clothing and toiletries and some other things that you want during this, to wherever it is you're going for that period of time. I have to end off here. I always have so much more to say. But thank you guys so much for watching. I think you guys just really have to hang in there, be strong during this period of time, whatever it is you're going through. I feel like if a negative energy is happening for you, it's going to be short-lived. That's what I will say. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. All the best. Bye, guys.